Much of the time the camera gets put out and we forget to turn it on, or we forget to put the camera out, or something happens, but today we're going. Good. Hi, video world. So good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Cece Coltrane. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Dayton. If this is your first time here, we welcome you especially and say thanks for spending your morning with us. The Welcome Center afterwards will have someone that will answer any questions you might have about our center, and we really appreciate having you here this morning. Our reading and invocation today will be given by Lana Mayhew. Our vigil holder is Jerry Blumgold, and Lana and Linda Smith will do our interfaith candle lighting, which we do every Sunday to remind us of all the sources of wisdom and truth that are available from all the world's religious traditions. So, our kids today are with whom?
Mark.
Marcus. Mark Fowler is with the kids today. So while the kids go over with and gather up with Mark, let's just pause for a moment and give them a short blessing, shall we? So let us remember that in each of our children there is a divine presence that lives in and as and through each one of them. And so what I know for them today is that they remember that. They remember that they are each precious and essential parts of this universe, blessing the whole world with who they are. I give great thanks for their presence, and I wish them and know for them a very fun, uplifting, loving morning. And so we just let that be with deep gratitude for these beautiful, beautiful small people.
What?
Letting it be. And so it is. Thanks, kids. Have a good time. The old small person back here, older small person back here included. Kenny and I have this running thing about being short and middle-aged. So, hey, 70 is the new 40 for us, right?
It better be.
So I'm still only 35. Yeah, I like it.
You gotta claim it.
It was for a while, you saw that in places, 60 is the new 40. I saw something last week that said 70 is the new 40, and I just went, oh, give me a break. Pretty soon 80 will be the new 40. Pretty soon we'll all work till we're 90 and then retire and, oh, I don't know. Anyway.
The first candle honors Hinduism. Namaste. It simply means, I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. That place of love and light and of truth and of peace. When you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, we are one. The second candle honors Christianity. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It is not rude. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. The third candle honors Judaism. Blessed are the man and the woman who have grown beyond themselves and have seen through their separations. They delight in the way things are and keep their hearts open day and night. They are like trees planted near flowering rivers, which bear fruit when they are ready. Their leaves will not fall or wither. Everything they do will succeed. The fourth candle honors Buddhism. Let us vow to bear witness to the wholeness of life, realizing the completeness of each and everything, embracing our differences. I shall know myself as you, and you as myself. We may serve each other for all our days, here, there, and everywhere. The fifth candle honors Islam. They are people who love each other with the spirit of Allah, not because of family relations or wealth. By Allah, there will be light on their faces, and they will be upon light. The sixth candle honors Taoism. Kindness in words creates confidence. Kindness in thinking creates profoundness. Kindness in giving creates love. The final candle honors the Native American religions. Teach me how to trust my heart, my mind, my intuition, my inner knowing, the senses of my body, the blessings of my spirit. Teach me to trust these things so that I may enter my sacred space and love beyond my fear and thus walk in balance with the passing of each glorious sun. The reading today is by Ernest Holmes. We belong to each other. We are happy when life flows through us into creative self-expression. This cannot happen while we judge ourselves or others. When we so live that nothing goes from us but love, there will be no condemnation of ourselves or others. If you can just now take these words into that sacred space within for a few moments of contemplation. So how good it is to know that right where we are, God's love and beauty and oneness and power are within us and all around us. It is what has created this service and this time and this beautiful day, the changing of the leaves, the changing of the seasons. Just knowing that we are absolutely one with God. There is absolutely no way to be separate from this magnificent power that we call God right here and right now. And so I know that this service and this time together is blessed. It is ordained. I know that every aspect of the service with the music ministry, with Reverend Cece, the children's church, is absolutely every single thing is in divine order and divine right action. And I am so grateful. And together we say, and so it is.
Woohoo! Happy October. So amazing. I love this time of year. It's my favorite time of year. It always has been. There's a thing that happens this time of year where everything sort of turns inward, and it's like self-examination time, and the trees are drawing back nutrients, which is why the leaves fall, and I don't know, it's just really wonderful, and I love the way the light looks and the crispness, and I love sweaters and all that stuff that comes with fall. So it's October, so October brings us to an gives us an opportunity to explore. There we go. Gives us an opportunity to explore a topic that is utterly life-changing and terrifying at the same time, as many spiritual topics are. The name of this month's topic is Love as Safety. And what I take out of that is, love as a haven. Love that creates a haven for our souls. Love is the way we create a place where we can honestly communicate and reflect and be together without needing to hide any part of ourselves. It's foundational because that kind of love underlies all of these shared values we've been exploring all year. Love creates the safety where we can communicate deeply and honestly with each other. Love creates the generosity that allows our community to thrive. Love is the impetus behind our diversity. Love is the power behind all of our values, right? So it's really foundational. And the reason it's so frightening is because we, as a society, we've sort of learned that love is fraught with danger. There's the danger of rejection. If you love someone and you reach out to them, they might reject you. There's the love of heartbreak. There's the fear of heartbreak. There is the danger of not getting as much love as we're giving. There's the danger of being hurt by it all. And I don't know about you, but in my childhood home, love was very, very conditional. It was very conditional. My mom was always wrapped up in her stuff in one way or another. She had really serious depression. So most of the time we didn't get love, we got disapproval, we got chastisement. We either got yelling or we got that icy disapproval that was worse than anything. And sometimes she would list out for us her scorecard. You know the scorecard, I mean. So I did this for you and you didn't do anything for me. You owe me, kid, right? That scorecard. Sometimes she would get all sticky and maudlin and grab us and not let us go, and that was weird too. So love for me was very confusing and very inconsistent and painful, and I took that pain and confusion into my adolescence and adulthood and added to it all the stuff that our society tells us in, oh God, love songs. All those broken heart songs, you know? And you see it in magazines and you read it in books and you see it in movies. Love is dangerous. It will result in shame and pain and heartbreak, rejection and hurt. And I don't think I'm the only one that ever heard that story. I really don't think I'm the only one. So, you know, for me, I saw this love is safety and I went, huh? You know what I mean? What does that mean? I'm not quite sure what that means. I think the confusion comes about for me because we've all been taught that love is something that happens out there between us and another person. It happens out here somewhere. It's a process of exchange. I will do this for you and you will do that for me, yes? We keep score. We grow up keeping score. And when we don't get enough of what we think we ought to be getting from the other person, sometimes we leave them. Or sometimes we make, you know, we chew on them, we nag at them, whatever it is we do. We've also been taught that love should result in the ability to read minds. If you loved me, you'd know what to do, right? You're falling for that one? Boy, I have. Woo! When I got into this philosophy in 1980, God, 6 or 7, it was a long time ago anyway, I ran across this statement from our founder, Ernest Holmes, and I pondered it for years, and then I began to get a new viewpoint on this love thing. He said, there is one life behind all that lives. One. Never two. Never two. To learn this is the secret of all ages. And I thought, wow, that must be important. He says it's the secret of all ages. I better pay attention to that. And I found out that all the mystics say it one way or another, that there's a unity. There's only one life in this universe, whatever you choose to call it. It's the life of spirit. It's the life of consciousness. It is a unity that has differentiated itself into all sorts of forms, you and you and you and you and you and me and our pets and the grass and the trees and the grains of sand and all of it. And it carries its essential nature wherever it goes. That's what the Namaste is all about. Wherever life is, all of it is. It's like a hologram. You know, a hologram, you can't, every time you take a piece of it and look at it, you see the whole. God is like that. Spirit is like that. It is, wherever you look, you're seeing the whole of it. So wherever I'm looking, I can see the whole of spirit in you. And it took a long, long, long time and a lot of practice for me to even begin to glimpse that in daily life. And I'm still working on it because, frankly, there are people I want to cut out of that equation. Oh, God, not him. You know, not that politician, not that big game hunter, not that child abuser. I want to leave them out of the equation. It's hard to see in those people. It takes a lot of practice to be able to look underneath the circumstances to the essence. I just continue to try and look for it in everyone and everything. It is a daily practice. And love requires practice. It's a state of mind that we practice. I want to read something to you from Don Miguel Ruiz's book. He wrote The Four Agreements, and he also wrote a little book called The Mastery of Love, which, like The Four Agreements, sounds very simple and is very deep and requires practice. It does. It takes practice. He said, just as societies and religions around the world create incredible mythologies, we create our own. Our personal mythology is populated by heroes and villains, angels and demons, kings and commoners. We create an entire population in our minds, including multiple personalities for ourselves. Then we master the image that we're going to use in various circumstances. We become artists of pretending and projecting our images, and we master whatever we believe we are. When we meet other people, we classify them right away. We assign them a role in our lives. When we are children, he says, and we have a problem with someone, we get angry. And for whatever reason, anger pushes the problem away. We get what we want. And it happens a second time. We react with anger, and then we know that if we get angry, we push the problem away. Then we practice and practice until we become masters of anger. In the same way, we become masters of jealousy, masters of sadness, masters of self-rejection. We learn all of our drama and all of our suffering by practice. To become masters of love, we have to practice love. The art of relationship is a whole mastery, and the only way to teach mastery is by practice. It is not about concepts or attaining knowledge, it's about action. Doesn't that just ring true to you? That it's something we have to practice? Every one of us grows up believing in some way or another that love has fearful elements to it, and that we'll be hurt if we risk it, if we risk loving all the way down to our soul. Whether it's loving ourselves or loving somebody else. Don Miguel tells a story in his book about living on a planet where everyone has a very painful skin disorder. So they can't touch each other because it hurts. And even if all of your sores heal, others will be afraid to touch you because it will hurt them. And they still think it will hurt you. So there's no touching. There's no connection on that planet. And so despite all of that, many of us go on and have relationships, get married, bear children, but there's still that fear of the hurt. It stays with us, and the love we give is infiltrated with it, and the love we receive is infiltrated with other people's fear. And here's what Ernest Holmes is saying in that quote about one. None of that is who we are. None of that is who we really are. None of that fear. That's learned behavior. We've practiced it. Who we are at our core is capital L, life. We're manifestations of spirit in human form. At our core, at our real essence, we are, capital L, love. There isn't anything else. So when I started to ponder that, I realized that love is a power I can access. It's a power in me I can access through practice. My love meets other people's love, and because the love I'm talking about is a power that I'm drawing out from inside myself, it's a power I can rely on. And it's a power that changes my life every day. When we choose to see love as a power that lives within us, and we choose to view life through that lens, from that power, to live from that love, everything changes. Everything changes. It all gets different somehow. Because love, the kind of love we are at our core, has no obligations associated with it. None. See, it's our fear that brings the sense of obligation. Like, if that person does something nice for me, I will owe them. No, you don't. It's just love being visited on love. Many of us try to escape the obligation by avoiding the love. But there's no need to escape from the love I'm talking about. Love has no resistance. That's its potency. There's no resistance in here to loving myself or to loving you. There's no resistance. We just do what we do because we choose to live from that love and see from that love. It's fear that brings in the resistance. Love has no expectations. If I give love, it's because I choose to give love. It's not because I expect you to do something in return for me. And the real beauty of that is if you choose not, if you don't feel like reciprocating love, I don't have to get all bent out of shape because I don't have any expectations. I am just being love with you today. It's an amazing thing. It's a huge difference. We don't get resentful. Love respects the object of our love because we're all part of that one. We're all holy. We all belong to each other. So when we love others, we do it from the realization that they are love too. They are divine too. They have the power to get up and make good decisions, strong, intelligent choices for themselves. If they've fallen down, we can lend a hand out of compassion, but never out of pity, because there's nothing to pity. They are divine, and they are made of love. So it's love simply offering a hand out to love, along with some encouragement, like, you got this, kid. You're amazing. So different from pity and judgment. Love takes responsibility for itself. Everything that we say and everything that we do has consequences. In fear, when we do something, fear wants the consequences to fall on somebody else, right? Like, it wasn't my fault. I had a really hard discussion with someone in Florida when I was there, and she immediately started to justify all of the things that she was doing. And I just said, this is not something you can justify. This is a choice you need to make. You can either make this choice and go on. But she was trying so hard out of fear of rejection, I think, to justify what she was doing, to make it somebody else's fault. And I just said, I care about you, I love you, I support you, and this is your choice. Here are the consequences. This is your choice. Love takes full responsibility for the consequences, and it has the wisdom to know that a choice made from love, a choice that love makes, the love in us makes, we can patiently wait for the good that comes from that choice. Fear wants to get away from those consequences every time. Doesn't want to take responsibility. The kind of love I'm talking about is kind and just. When you love yourself, if you make a mistake, you learn from it and go on. We've all experienced what fear does with mistakes, right? If it's us who made the mistake, fear punishes us 1,000 times for it. It can even become shame as we go over and over and over the mistake and berate ourselves and make it, part of our memories that we're going to think about that mistake forever. If it's somebody else, we'll remind them over and over and over again of the mistake they made. 1,000 times that punishment comes back. Love says, you made a mistake. What's the lesson? Now let's move on. Love is kind and love is just. Love is a whole lot more powerful than fear, but it takes practice. It takes us making the choice to live from love rather than fear. It requires us to change the way we think and to realize something very deep, and that is that if we're all part of one life, we belong to each other in a deep and real way. We belong to each other. It requires us to remember, Marshall Rosenberg, who wrote Nonviolent Communication, put it this way. He said, regardless of our many differences, we all have the same needs. What differs is our strategy for fulfilling them. Criticism, judgment, and violence are all tragic tragic expressions of unmet needs. And the Course in Miracles teaches that everything is either a gift of love or a cry for love. When we can remember that, we move out of fear, we move into that place of living from the love that we are. And that's what we practice together here as a community. That is the possibility that we practice. Think about how the world would change if every one of us in this room lived from that love all the time. If we remembered that the whole world, we all belong to each other. That we're all seeking to get the same needs met. Some of us may be really awkward at it, but nonetheless, we're all trying to get the same needs met. The need for love, the need to express it, and the need to receive it. What if we remembered that we are each the very love of the universe made manifest? I think we'd have fewer problems in our lives. And I think we'd start to find solutions to these giant problems that the world, those that we all belong to, are suffering. It wouldn't be overnight, but it would be inevitable. Because every one of us would rub off on the people that we are around, and they would start to live more from love, and each one of them would rub off on the people that they were around, and we would all start to live more lovingly. See, you and I matter a whole bunch. Sometimes we don't think about it. But here we practice the possibilities that come from that simple choice. I'm going to live from the love that I am today. I'm not going to live from my fear. I'm going to live from love. I'm going to see with the holy eyes of love. I'm going to hear with the sacred hearing of love. Most people don't ever have that opportunity because no one ever teaches them they can change their focus. They can change their minds from fear to love. No one ever teaches them that it's a matter of practice. How would the world be negatively impacted if we were not here? I think it would leave a giant hole in what's going on in our community. So maybe you don't understand how rare and important you are, you and everyone here. I don't know of another place that focuses in the same way than Centers for Spiritual Living in leaning into love, in leaning into what's possible, a place where we create together this soulfulness that says, you are welcome here to everyone, no matter what. No matter who they love, no matter their skin color, their place of birth, no matter any of that. We create this place that says, you are welcome here, and we love you. Because we are making a choice today to see from love, not fear. That's a big deal. This community matters a lot. It really, truly does. And how would it change our individual and collective lives if we practiced that love every single day? Stop and think about for a moment, what would happen if you gave up all your expectations of your spouse or your lover or your children or your friends, that the love you give was returned to you? How about if instead you just focused on being love? How would your relationship with yourself change if instead of holding yourself hostage and punishing yourself for a mistake, you just said, I'm going to love myself today from that place of love within me? I have to tell you, my relationship with myself is completely different. I used to live in shame. I remember when I first, what's today? The 1st. So it was Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Was my 31st anniversary of getting sober. And when I was thinking about it on Thursday, I was thinking about how miserable I was when I first stopped drinking and got sober. You know, I would look in the mirror and go, And I was always picking on myself, deeply in shame a lot of the time. And when I made a mistake, it was like the end of my world. And I don't do that, and I haven't for years, but I especially don't do it now. I say, what would I want to do different next time? Did I have enough information to avoid making that mistake? If not, what kind of information do I need to gather? Then I'd let it go. And I no longer I have high expectations of myself, but they're no longer unrealistic. Well, it depends on the day. Sometimes they are. I'm a lot better at it, let me put it that way. But, I don't hold myself to impossible standards and then beat myself up when I don't meet them. It's changed a whole lot. What if we just gave up our expectations that if we do something nice for somebody, they'll do something nice for us? What if we just made the choice to do the nice thing out of our soulful selves? How would all of that change the way we talk to someone on the opposite side of the political spectrum or the religious spectrum? What if we looked at life from the place of belonging to each other instead of from the fear that we're different from each other? I think what would happen is heaven would get a lot closer to earth. We would start to see heaven making itself manifest around us. When we know and practice being love. You are love. I am love. When we realize that love is our greatest power, that we belong to each other because we belong to love, then heaven starts to show up around us. There isn't anything else that could happen. That's the inevitable outcome of practicing living from the love that you already are. Who has something to say today?
When I first started doing this work at the church and have taken foundations and everything, and I was newly sober, one of the things that I listened to and I began to practice was, because I was in a very unloving place for myself, I mean very unloving. And I woke up every day and I just said, today I am love. Today I am in love with love. And that's where I'm going to live from. And at first I didn't believe it. At first my stomach would twist up in knots and say, that's not true. You're just pretending. People are going to find out all about you and they're just going to think that, it just went on, that critic. But the more I did it, the more I looked at myself in the mirror each and every day and looked at my eyes, and what I started seeing was I started seeing that spirit. And I started seeing my eyes soften. And I started feeling that in me, that I was love. And I can live in love every day. And it has changed my life in such ways. I see it manifest in everything that I do today. And I see it manifest very quickly within me when I'm not coming from a place of that love. Because I don't like how that feels anymore. That is so uncomfortable inside me anymore. And it's just amazing how this community and Reverend Cece and everybody I have ever met has always greeted me and treated me in love, even when I wasn't in love with me yet. And they showed me how to fall in love with me, which deepened my faith in that unseen spirit in the universe and showing me that it actually loves me and it does work for me. And I just wanted to share that because it's amazing. Thank you.
It is amazing. She looks different. She looks totally different. Totally different. Just got this nice, bright light around her. Anybody else? Don't be shy. Okay. Kenny went to get the band. So let's pray together, shall we? We pray a little bit differently around here. We don't plead or beg or ask, we know. We go to a place in our consciousness of deep knowing. And we begin with simply recognizing that there is one in the universe. There is one life, one power, one infinite intelligence, however you think of it. We call it God, Allah, Yahweh, infinite spirit, intelligence, the universe, whatever it is, however you think of it, it is the one that out of itself, some way we will really never understand, created everything that exists. Whether it's at that moment that we call the Big Bang, however it happened, everything came from nothing into this beautiful, beautiful expression of life we see everywhere. As the ancient Greek philosophers said, everything is conscious, everything flows, everything is part of this one great flow of life. So wherever that initial impetus, that initial intelligence, that initial wisdom and love went through everywhere into its creation, it is still there. It is there in its wholeness. So wherever it is, all of it is. And it is in me, and it is in you, and it is in all things. So right where I am, right where you are, God is. In its wisdom and intelligence and life and love and joy and peace and beauty and harmony. For it's all God, there's nothing outside of it. And it's all right here. And so what I know for each one of us today is that sense of oneness, that sense of belonging to the one and belonging to each other, just expands right there in the middle of our being, expands and warms us and fuels us to each day practice seeing with the holy eyes of love, hearing with the sacred hearing of love, and living from the infinite intelligence and energy of love for ourselves, for our families and loved ones, for those around us, for our co-workers, for those people we meet on the street or in the grocery store, for everyone and everything we see everywhere. And what I know is that love goes out and touches the people that we happen to meet, that we happen to catch eyes with, that we happen to touch or speak to, that they are touched and changed by our presence as love. And what I also know to be true is that whatever we give out comes back to us multiplied. And so I know that we are awash in love. That it reinforces our sense of ourselves as the presence of love. For where we bring love, we see love. Where we give love, we receive love. Where we hear love, love shouts back to us. My beloved, you are precious, beautiful, unique, and whole, and always beloved. And so I know this sense of belonging to each other carries forth into everything that we do, into every day of our lives, into all our interactions. We remember that we are one with love, and that love is one with us. And so knowing this is the truth about us, that it could be no other way, I give thanks. How grateful I am for this community and all who are part of it. How grateful I am for life itself, this beautiful adventure of walking each other through and home. How grateful I am. And in gratitude, I just let go. I realize that there is a power in the universe that continues to say yes to me, that continues to support me, that continues to enliven me along with all the rest of us. And it has already said yes. It is already so. So we let it go, we let it be, and we say together, and so it is.
I'm just a thread, a simple thread in this glorious web of life.
We are all just drops within a stream flowing.
in the interest of full disclosure of information and honest and open communication, I had to talk to you about something before we continue. We have had a very difficult year, and I know that many of you have too. It's that kind of environment out there. We're down financial support wise $20,000 from where we were at this point last year, and that's a scary thing. It is, because we kind of run on bare bones anyway. So I just want to make you aware of that, and you know what I've done is just dug a little deeper, and I'm giving just a little bit more, and I would ask you to see if you could do the same thing. Just a little bit more than you've already been giving, and we will be able to continue to grow together and make this place vital and strong and stronger. It's just one of those deals where it's kind of like, how do you go from bare bones to no bones? So I just needed to make you aware of that, because we like to keep everybody apprised of what's happening. And so with that, we now have an opportunity to support the center financially. It's, you know, a place like this takes money to stay open. It does, to pay our staff people and to just be here and to provide all the things that we provide. So sometimes we just have to talk about it. And plus, generosity is one of the ways we show love for each other, for this center, for this place. So let's take a moment and just stop and be grateful. Be grateful for everything in your life. Even if you don't think it's so great, think about it with gratitude. Find something in every area of your life to appreciate. Your body, your mind, your heart, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your work, your car, the beautiful weather. If you have pets, oh my God, be grateful for them. Such bringers of light they are. There is so much in life to be grateful for. And gratitude is that open attitude towards life itself that just says yes, yes, yes. And so just breathe it in for a moment. All that there is to be grateful for, and let yourself be centered in that place of gratitude. And please affirm with me, I am joyful.
I am joyful.
I am free.
I am free.
I am grateful.
I am grateful.
I give with gratitude.
I give with gratitude.
And I say yes
And I say yes
to all that life has to offer.
to all that life has to offer.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you. Oh, Cindy. She's great. I have a couple of quick announcements, and then we have a couple of people with announcements. First of all, if you're new to the community, if you would fill out that tear-off strip on your bulletin cover with just your contact information, we promise we will not abuse it. We will send you on Wednesdays a little spiritual midweek pick-me-up that you can unsubscribe from anytime. We don't sell those. We don't use them for anything other than that, and very occasionally letting you know of some very special event that's coming up. So if you just fill that out and leave it at the Welcome Center, that would be very helpful. Next Sunday is Bring a Friend Sunday. You know, about half of our new people find us through word of mouth. So if there's somebody that you know that you've been thinking might like it around here, please invite them next Sunday. We always love to do that and meet new people, and we'll have tea and coffee and cookies and stuff afterwards, and just an opportunity for them to ask questions, get to know a few of us, find out we're really not scary, but we're really loving. So next Sunday, Bring a Friend Sunday. There are a couple of flyers in your bulletin, one of which I want to bring your attention to. I'm really excited about it. It's the one with the little Star Wars robots on it. Star Wars, yes, Stormtroopers. I thought somebody said Star Trek, and I thought, no, wrong show. That's the guy with the funny ears, right? Yes. So SNAC stands for Spiritual, Non-Agnostic, and Questioning. Stephanie Stewart is going to be facilitating that, and it's a group discussion where you can ask any question you might ever have. People who are questioning their faith, their belief, looking for a place to belong but haven't felt right in church. for anyone really, and it starts this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. So invite anyone you know that might be interested. I think it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. There's a whole bunch of flyers in your bulletin, and I would just invite you to look them over and look at the last page of your bulletin insert, because there's a whole lot coming on, from the bonfire to the camp out to next 2 weeks from today, the Rap with the Rev, the Discover class. There's all kinds of stuff going on. So take a look at the rest of your bulletin. You know, one of the things that we offer here is small groups. We call them sacred circles. These groups offer a place for you to make really close friendships, to do group spiritual practice, and to learn and to grow in a smaller setting. My husband hosts one at our home. It's men only, so I have to leave. But the members seem to really, really like it. So this is one of the Sacred Circle leaders, Rachel Richter, and she's going to tell you a little bit more.
Thank you. I've been a member here for about 1.5 years, and my partner Carol and I are co-leading a group. And very simply, this is just about spreading the love, what we've been talking about all morning. The two main reasons why I decided I wanted to co-lead was to get to know some of you fine people a little better than what I do on Sunday morning, and to have a daily reinforcement for my spiritual practices. And even though our group's only met a couple times at this point, I can honestly tell you those two goals have already manifested. So I would just really like to personally invite you to check it out. Our group meets the second Tuesday of every month at 7. If that doesn't work for you, there are other groups, other days, other times. And I think you should try it because you'll like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel. Yes, if you have any questions, want information, times, dates, addresses, call Clara in the office during the week, or you can talk to her today. Or do you have? Is there anything written for more information?
One of the applications is up here.
There's an application over there, and we can get you more copies of that if you're interested in doing that. It's a, it's a little different thing for this community, but the ones that are meeting are really, they're amazing experiences. So give yourself that gift. It's once a month, and it'll really change your life, I promise. We also have, where'd it go? Oh, you've got it. Peggy Mary is going to talk to you about this cute stuffed lion here.
I'm going to croak to you, that's right. Hi everybody, I'm Peggy Merritt, if you don't know me by now. I've been gone for a little bit, but anyway, I'm back. And we're going to do some fundraising for our community. And the first one we're going to do is Rory the Lion. We're going to get 50% of the profits coming back to the church. He's $20, so 10 comes back to the community, 10 goes to Avon to buy the stuffed animal. And then we're going to do what's called a donation, or love our animal ministry again. We're going to love on them. They'll come back on, the orders have to be in on the 29th of October. We'll get them by the 5th of November, and we'll start loving on them up until approximately a week before Christmas, and then I'll take them over to St. Vincent de Paul to help the homeless children with Christmas. And another thing we're going to do, if you can see your bulletin, it's on the opposite side of Snag. It's the any 3-piece pack for $12 on the skin therapy lotions. There's 3 different types that are there. Those are $12. The center gets $6. And we're going to donate those to, there it is, Choice Foster Care. And then whatever's left over is going to go to Artemis. And this is just a service project that we're going to do. So this last month was service, and it got me thinking. And then this month is love, so we're just going to carry it on through up until Christmas time. But we still get half the profits. I'm not making anything off of these. Usually the rep gets about 10 or 15%, possibly 20. I'm not taking anything. All I'm doing is delivering. There were, in the children's homeless shelter, at the homeless shelter at St. Vincent de Paul, last year they serviced over 500 kids from the holidays, from the end of October until the first of the year. Out of those, on a daily basis, there was between 80 and 90 kids, and a lot of them are infants and toddlers. So this is what this is geared to. So please participate, and if you know anybody that wants to buy it outside of church, let me know, and I can get a hold of him and we can go from there. You're welcome. Thank you.
And of course, you can always buy more than one. You can, what is it?
Oh, the sign-up sheets are over there.
Oh, there's a sign-up sheet to order your Rory Lion over there. You can also buy two, you know, if you want to take one, you want to give one to one of your kid in your family, you can buy 5 or 6 if you want. What we're urging you to do is buy one to donate back to the project for the kids at the homeless shelter. Let's see, I think that's it. Let me just check here. Ah! All these pieces of paper. Be sure you look at them all. They're all important. If you'd like prayer after service for anything at all, just go and ask one of the ladies in this beautiful teal or white, depending on which side they have a stole. So all you have to do is just say, I'd like prayer, and they will find a place to sit and talk with you. They're very good at seeing the spiritual truth when you can't. And their gift to you on Sunday morning is this miracle moment of prayer. So take advantage of that. You can also put a written prayer request in the prayer chest back at the table, and we'll pick it up after service.
One more thing, it's tax deductible also.
Oh yes, your contribution for the Rory the Lion is tax deductible.
And the skin stuff.
And the skin stuff. If you buy any of that stuff, you can take it off your taxes. How cool is that? All right, we're done. For the first 3 minutes after service, find somebody you don't know well and talk to them. Make a new friend today. And thank you all. And don't forget to get at least 10 hugs before you go home. They're very good for you. Thanks to the band. You guys are amazing as always. Thanks to our ushers and greeters and our welcome team and all of you. Let's stand for our affirmation, our closing song, which is Into the Light. Woo! We belong to each other.
We belong to each other.
I allow myself to feel the truth of that statement.
I allow myself to feel the truth of that statement.
I reach beyond my fear.
I reach beyond my fear.
I give love to everyone I meet.
I give love to everyone I meet.
Love precedes me.
Love precedes me.
Love follows me.
Love follows me.
Everywhere I go.
Everywhere I go.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Have a great week, everybody.
You too.